I bet you didn't know the real reason behind Byju Raveendran's dramatic move to Dubai. This is the company that went from being valued at billions of dollars to facing lawsuits, debts, and a whole lot of skepticism. We're talking about the company that had Bollywood stars in its ads, sponsored cricket stadiums, and had everyone downloading its app during the pandemic. So, how did Byju's fall from grace? Get your notebooks ready, kids, because class is in session. We're about to break down the rise and fall of Byju's, and trust me, this isn't your average online tutorial. This is a story of big dreams, bigger debts, and maybe, just maybe, a little bit of greed. For more eye-opening stories from the world of business, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to CA Mispa Vlogs. Picture this. It's 2020, the world is in lockdown, and everyone's glued to their screens. And Byju's? They were like the popular kid in the virtual schoolyard, racking up millions of users. Flush with cash from investors eager to put their money into tech companies during the pandemic, Byju's went on a shopping spree. And I'm talking about buying every EdTech company they could get their hands on. WhiteHat Jr., known for teaching kids to code, became a part of the Byju's empire for a cool $300 million. And they didn't stop there. Great Learning, Akash Educational Services, Topper, you name it, Byju's bought it. Their mission was to become the Amazon of education, offering everything from K-12 tutoring to upskilling courses. But here's the thing about shopping sprees, they're fun until the bill arrives. And Byju's bill, let's just say it was a tad more than they expected. We're talking over $1.2 billion in debt. They were basically playing a high-stakes game of Monopoly, but instead of Boardwalk, they ended up with a mountain of debt. They were basically playing a high-stakes game of Monopoly, but instead of Boardwalk, they ended up with a mountain of debt. Remember that online learning boom Byju's was riding? Yeah, those were the good old days. As soon as vaccines arrived and schools reopened, students ditched their laptops for classrooms faster than you could say Zoom fatigue. And just like that, Byju's was left with millions of dollars worth of coding courses and online tutorials, and far fewer students willing to pay for them. Their losses started piling up faster than dirty dishes in a college dorm. In 2021-2022, they reported a loss of over Rs 5,500 crores. To put that into perspective, that's enough money to buy every single person in Wyoming a lifetime supply of textbooks. They were hemorrhaging money, and those pricey acquisitions? Yeah, not looking so smart anymore. It was like they'd thrown a massive party during lockdown, and now the cleanup crew was at the door with a hefty bill. Chapter 3. The Debt Spiral. Okay, remember that $1.2 billion debt from the acquisition spree? Well, turns out that was just the tip of the iceberg. Byju's had another expensive habit, marketing. We're talking about those flashy ads featuring Shah Rukh Khan, the ones you couldn't escape during every cricket match. They even sponsored the Indian cricket team's jersey. I mean, talk about fancy tastes. But here's the problem. They were spending money they didn't have. It's like taking out a loan to buy a Ferrari when you can barely afford bus fare. Their debt kept growing, and those lenders? They wanted their money back, with interest. And that's when the lawsuits started rolling in. The Board of Control for Cricket in India, BCCI, sued them for unpaid sponsorship dues, and a US-based loan administrator, Glass Trust, came knocking for its share. It was a full-blown debt spiral, and Byju's was caught right in the middle. Chapter 4. The Transparency Troubles. Imagine this. You lend your friend a large sum of money, but then they start dodging your calls and making excuses for not paying you back. Wouldn't you be a little suspicious? That's pretty much what happened with Byju's and their investors. They delayed their 2021-22 financial report for almost a year. A year, people! And when they finally did release the numbers, it was like opening Pandora's box. Losses were mounting, auditors were quitting, and top executives were jumping ship like rats fleeing a sinking vessel. Well, you get the picture. It was a full-blown transparency meltdown. To make matters worse, rumors about a toxic work environment at Byju's started surfacing. Former employees spoke out about aggressive sales tactics, unrealistic targets, and a pressure cooker work environment that would make Gordon Ramsay blush. Chapter 5. Dubai. A fresh start or a strategic escape. And now for the million-dollar question, or should I say billion-dollar question. What's Byju Raveendran, the captain of this seemingly sinking ship, doing in Dubai? Some say it's a strategic move to attract investors in the Middle East, a rapidly growing market for EdTech. Others speculate it's a way to distance himself from the turmoil back in India. Whatever the reason, Raveendran's Dubai relocation has only added fuel to the fire. It's like the CEO of a burning building deciding to work remotely, from a luxury yacht. The future of Byju's. Uncertain times. Despite these challenges, Byju Raveendran remains optimistic about the future and is determined to turn Byju's around. He's promised to restructure the company, cut costs, and refocus on profitability. But will it be enough to save Byju's from sinking under the weight of its own ambition? Or will this once celebrated EdTech giant become another cautionary tale of rapid growth and unchecked ambition? Only time will tell.